Hello everyone. So today we will solve another example of SLR parser. SLR means simple LR parser or LR0, and this is example 2. If you want to watch example 1, then go see my previous video. In the previous video we have the theory and the example 1. Okay. So this question is check whether the following grammar is SLR grammar or not. Also make a go to graph. Okay. This is an optional part that I have added so that you can just know how to make one. Okay. So here is the grammar. So S gives 0 A1 and another production is 1 SA. Then A gives 1 B and production A gives 2. Then we have B gives 2A and another production as B gives 3. So first step is to find the first and follow. So let us write it down. So first of S, first of A and first of B. So the first of S is 0 and here it is 1. So 0, 1. Then in the A's production we have 1 and 2. So we will write first of A as 1, 2. Okay. And for the B part we have the 2 and 3. So 2, 3. Now we will find the follow. So let us write it down. So follow of S is followed by A in the first production itself. So by default there is dollar and another is A. So we will write the first of A, that is 1, 2. Okay. So dollar, 1, 2. Here it is. As we have a non-terminal after the S. Okay. So now let us find the follow of A. So in the first production itself, A is followed by 1. So we'll write 1. Okay. So 1 union. A in the second production of S is followed by nothing. So we'll write follow of S in this. So follow of S. And then in the third production, that is B gives 2A. We can see that A is followed by nothing. So we will go to the follow of B. Okay. So 1 union the follow of S, that is dollar 1, 2. And for follow of B, first of all we have to find it. So follow of B equals to B is followed by nothing. So we will go to the follow of A like that. Whenever you come up with something like that kind of loop, then you just have to complete the first follow, that is follow of A, and then write the whole thing inside the follow of B. Okay. So which will come up to as dollar 1, 2. Okay. So let us write it down. So dollar 1, 2. Okay. So as we have the follow of B same as follow of A, so I will write the same dollar 1, 2 in the follow of B itself. Now what you can do is you can just write the dollar 1, 2 in the follow of B part in this. Okay. So we have completed the first and follow. Now we will go ahead and write the augmented grammar. For the augmented grammar we will have another production, the same name as that of the starting symbol with a dash, and then we will have the dot part also. Okay. So step 1, augmented grammar. So we have the starting symbol as S. Okay. And we have to write each production differently. That is, if there are two production of S, then I will write S gives the first production, then another production S gives second production. Okay. So we have written the S dash. Now S productions. Okay. Now we will write the A productions. So A gives the first production. Then I will write the second production of A. Okay. Then we will write the first production of B and then the second production of it. And we just have to number these because we have to use the numbering in the parse table. Okay. So first have to be the 0th, and we will have the reduced part. So I already written it as R0, R1, R2. Okay. Till R6. Now we will proceed ahead and write the LR0 sets of item production. Okay. So next step 2. This part will have the go to and the closure part. I will write go to differently, like on passing any terminal or non-terminal on the state and the resultant state. Okay, and I will have the productions written as that in the closure part. Okay, so let us write the first part. So dot s, we have a non-terminal after the dot, so the first production and the second production. And if we have a non-terminal after the dot in the productions of s, then we would have written the production of that non-terminal 2. Okay, so now I1 state, I will write it as on passing s in the I0 state, we will get the I1 state. Okay, or you can write I0 on s goes to the I1 state. Okay, you can write any of these two, so it is better to write the second one. Okay, so on passing the s, the dot is shifted towards the right and we have the production as s dash gives s dot and it is a complete state. Okay, now we will proceed to the next one, that is s gives 0 a1. Okay, so on passing 0 in the I0 state, we will get the I2 and we will shift the dot after 0. So we have a non-terminal, that is a, so we will write the productions of a now. So first production of a and then the second one. Okay, now we have completed the first production of s. Now we will complete the third one, that is s gives dot 1 sa. So we have to like pass I0 on 1, it goes to I0 on 1, it goes to the I3 state. Okay, so we will have this one. So s gives 1 dot sa. Now we again have the non-terminal, so we will write the productions of s. So the first production of s and then the second one, that is dot 0 a1 and dot 1 sa. Now we have completed the I0 state. We already have I1 as complete. Now we will proceed to the I2 state. So on passing a in the I2, we will have the production as s gives 0 a dot 1. Okay, so I2 on a goes to the I4 state, that is s gives 0 a dot 1. Okay, and as 1 is a terminal, we don't have to write any productions again. Okay, so now we will proceed to the next part, that is on passing 1 in I2 state, we will get the production as a gives 1 dot b. Okay, so let me just take out this another sheet. Okay, so on passing 1 in the I2 state, we have completed the first one, so we will have the second production. So I2 on 1 goes to the new state because we don't have a state like that before. Okay, so now a gives 1 dot b and we will write the b production as we have a non-terminal after dot. Okay, so now this is the I5 state. Now we will go ahead and write I2 on passing 2 goes to the production a gives 2 dot. Okay, so I6 state and we will write a gives 2 dot. Okay, this is a complete state as there is nothing after the dot in that production. Now we will proceed ahead to the I3 part. So on passing s in I3, we get the 1 s dot a. So this is a 7th state, a new one. So s gives 1 s dot a and we will write the productions of a as we have a non-terminal after the dot. Okay, so now we have completed the first production in I3 state. Now we will proceed to the next one, that is s gives 0 a1. So on passing I3 with 0, we get the new production, that is I8 state, that is 0 dot a1. No, we have already completed it in the I2 state. So what I can do is I can write I3 on 0 goes to I2 state only. Okay, we don't have to write the productions again and again. So we have completed that one. Now we will write the third production, that is for I3 on 1 goes to, but we have already completed this in the I3 state itself. Okay, so we will write I3 over here. Okay, now we have completed the I3. We will proceed to the I4 part. So on passing 1 in I4, it will complete this state. So I4 on 1 goes to the next state. So I4 on 1 goes to the new state, that is I8. We have completed the I4 state. Now let us go ahead. 0 A1 dot. Now we have completed the I4. Now in the same sheet we have the I5. So by passing B in I5 we will get A gives 1 B dot. Okay, so let us write it down. So I5 on B goes to a new state, that is I9. Now for the second production of I5 we will have I5 on 2 goes to the new state, that is I10, which is B gives 2 dot A, and we have a non-terminal after the dot, so we'll write the productions of A, which are A gives 1B and A gives 2. Okay, A gives dot 2. Okay, so now let us go ahead for the third production in the state 5. So I5 on 3 goes to a new state, that is I11, because we have already completed the I10. So I5 on 3 goes to a new state, that is I11, with the production as B gives 3 dot. Okay, and it is a complete state. Now this is complete. Now we'll go for the productions in I7 state. So on passing A in I7 we will have the S gives 1 as A dot state. Okay, so which is a new one. So this is a new state, that is I12. So S gives 1 as A dot. Okay, this is a complete state. Now we will go to the second production in the I7 state, that is on passing, but we have already completed it, so there will not be a new state. Now we will proceed ahead with the third production in I7. So I7 on 2 goes to I6 as we have the same as A gives 2 dot. Now we will go ahead. These two are complete state as we have the dot at the end of the production. Now we will go for the I10 state. So I10 on A goes to a new state, that is I13. Okay, so B gives 2A dot. Okay, so now we'll proceed ahead for the next production in state 10. So I10 on 1 goes to the 1 dot B. I think we have completed this one. So 1 dot B is over here, that is I5 state. Okay, so I10 on 1 goes to the I5 state. Okay, now for the last part, I10 on 2, which is same as that of I6 state. Okay, so A gives 2 dot. Okay, so we have completed this one. I11 is complete, I12 is complete, and I13 is also completed. Now we'll proceed ahead for the next step. So let us make the go to graph first, and then we will have the parse table. Okay, so step 3, go to graph. Okay, so let me zoom it. Yeah, so for the go to graph, first of all we have the starting symbol, and then I'll write the state which it produces, and with the help of which non-terminal or terminal above the arrow part. Okay, so first of all I0 state. Okay, so I0. Now on passing what, we got the I1 state, that is we passed S for it, and then we got the I1 state. Yeah, like this. I0 on S goes to the I1 state. So let us make I1 over here, and then we will write S above the arrow. Okay, now we got I2 on passing 0 in the I0 state, so we will write 0 over here and I2 state over here. Yeah, resultant one. Now we have on passing 1 in I0 we got the I3 state, so we will write arrow then 1 over here, we got the resultant as I3 state. Okay, now we will proceed ahead. So on passing A on I2 we got the I4 state, so I4 over here. Now we got I5 when we passed 1 in the I2 state, so we will write 1 and then I5. So on passing 1 we got the I5 state. Okay, then on passing 2 in the I2 state we got the I6 state. Okay, so on passing 2 we got the I6 state, like that. So I6 over here. Now we got the I7 by passing S in I3 state. Okay, so we'll write S above the arrow over here, and then we'll write the I7 state. Okay, so now on passing 0 in I3, we got the I2. So on passing 0, we got the I2, and we have already written the I2. Now on 1, it produces the I3 itself, so I will have a self loop and I will write 1 above it. Okay, so now on passing 1 in I4, we got the I8 state. So on passing 1, we got the I8. So one arrow, one over here, and then resultant state as I8. Now on passing B in I5 state, we got the I9 state. So arrow, then B above it, and I9 as resultant state. Okay, so now on passing 2 in I5, we got the I10 state. So we'll write 2 above the arrow and then resultant as I10. Okay, now the next part, we have on passing 3 in I5, we got the I11. So 3, we got I11 over here. So on passing 3 in I5, we got the I11. Okay, so now the next state, on passing A, we got the I12. So I12 over here, and then I will write A above the arrow. Okay, now we will write on 1 on I7, it goes to I5. So 1, it goes to I5, and then on 2, it goes to I6. So 2 and I6 over there. So I will make a arrow from the outside, and then I will write 2 above it. Okay, so on passing 2 in the I7 state, I got the I6 state. Okay, so 2 over here. Now for the next part, on passing A in the I10 state, we got the I13. Okay, and then on passing 1 in the I10, we got the I5. So I10 is over here, and then we will write 1 over here for the I5 resultant state. Okay, and then I10 on passing 2, it goes to the I6 state. So we have I10 over here, and then I will make an arrow so that it don't overlap. Yeah, and then I will write 2 above it. Yeah, like this. So we have completed the go-to graph. Now we will proceed ahead and write the parse table. Okay, so step 4, SLR parsing table. Okay, we will first of all have the states, then the action part, and then go to. Okay, and then as we have terminals under action, we will write 0, 1, 2, 3, and the dollar part, as we will write the except part under this. And then we have the states S, A, and B under the go to part. Okay, now we have the number of states as I13. Yeah, I13. So I will write 0, 1, 2, 3 till 13. Okay, so let us write it down. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. Now we will make the cells, as we will start writing the shift and reduce part in the SLR parsing table. Okay. So first of all, we have to write the except part. So we have to see on which state the starting symbol was completed. That is in the I1 state. Okay. So I1 state and dollar. So in the cell 1 comma dollar, we will write the except. So 1 comma dollar, we will write the except part. Okay, like this. Now we got I2 when we passed 0 in the I0 state. So I will write the shift 2 inside that cell. Then we got the state 3 when we passed 1. Then we got I4 when we passed A in the I2 state. So I2 on 1 goes to the 4. We will not write S over here in the go to part. We just have to write the numbering. Okay. I0 on passing S goes to the I1 state. Let us write for the next part, that is for the I5 part. So I2 on 1 goes to the state 5, so shift 5. I2 on 2 goes to shift 6. On passing S in I3 state, we got the I7, so we'll write 7 over here. Okay, now we have, when we passed 0 in I3, we got the S2. When we passed 1, we got the S3. Now on passing 1, we got the S8. Okay, on passing B in I5 state, we got the I9. So I5 under B, we will write the 9. Okay, now we got I10 when we passed 2 in the I5 state. So under I5 and 2 we will write the S10. Okay, so now on passing 3 in I5 state, we got the S11, state 11. In I7, when we passed A, we got the state 12. So we will just write the 12 over here. Okay, 12. Now on passing 1, we got the I5 state, so S5. On passing 2, we got the I6, so S6. Then on passing A in the 10th state, we got the 13th state, so 13 over here. Then on passing 1, we got the state 5, so S5 over here. And on passing 2, we got the state 6, so S6. Now we have completed the shift part. Now we will proceed ahead for the reduce part. So for the reduce part, we just have to write down the complete states first of all. Then we will find the follow of that, and then we will put those values under that particular cell. Okay, so shift entries all state, and then for the reduce entries, we just have to see the final states. Okay, so final states means what? Where dot is at the end. We don't have to write for the S dash part. Okay, so like this. So I6 state first of all, which is completed. Then I8 state. Okay, so I8. Then I9 is also completed, so I9, as we have the dot at the end of the production. Okay, so I9 is also completed. Then we will write for the I11, so I11. Then we will have the I12, so I12, and then I13 also. So let us write I13 over here. Now what we have to say is, we have to see which state it represents. So from here we will write the R1 R2 part, and by seeing which state it shows, let me just explain it to you. So on I6 we have the production A gives 2 dot, which is A gives 2 dot is R4. So I will write R4 over here under the I6 part. Okay, so for I8 we have production as gives 0 A1 dot, which is R1. Okay, so we'll write R1 over here. Then in I9 we have A gives 1B dot, which is R3 state, so we will write R3 over here. Now I11, so for I11 we have the production B gives 3, which is the last reduce, so we will write R6 over here. For I11 we have S gives 1 SA dot, which is the R2 part, so R2 over here. And for the I13 we have the production B gives 2A dot, which is R5. Okay, so R5. Now what we will do is, we just have to find the follow of the particular production. So for R4 we have follow of A, then follow of S for R1 state, then we have the R3, so follow of A again, then follow of B for the R6 part, then for R2 we have the follow of S, then for the follow of B for the R5 state. Okay, so the follow of all are $1, 2. Okay, so $1, 2 for the above part also, and for the follow of S it is $1, 2 only. Okay, so you can write it for each of these. or you can just start like putting the reduced values inside the table. So let me just write it down. So $1, $1, $1, over here. Yeah. Now in the I6 part, that is for the sixth state, under the $1, I'll write R4. Okay. So under $1, I'll write R4, R4 and R4. Okay. So under $1, in I8 state, I'll write R1, R1 and R1. Yeah. In ninth state, under $1, I'll write the reduce 3, that is R3. Okay. Now for I11, under $1, I will write R6. Okay. Let me just make an arrow for simplification. Yeah. So R6 in the 11th state. So let us write it down. So R6 dollar, R6 and R6. Yeah. Now in the 12th state, under $1, we'll write R2 state. So R2, R2, R2. Yeah. Now under I13 $1, I'll write R5, R5, R5. Yeah. So we don't have any double entries in this SLR parsing table. So the grammar that we got is a SLR grammar. Okay. So let me just zoom in and write it near this table. So result, as we have no double entries, as there are no double entries in the table, or we can say SLR parsing table, the grammar which we got is a SLR grammar. Okay. So given grammar is SLR grammar. Okay. So we have completed the example now. So first of all, what we did was we found the first and follow. Let me just take out the sheet here. So first of all, we find the first and follow. Then we wrote the augmented grammar. Then we found out the states. And then after finding the states, we made the go-to graph. And then we made the SLR parsing table. And for the shift part, we just wrote all the states. And for the reduce part, we just wrote for the final states and we find the follow of those. Then we entered the reduce entries in the table and there were no double entries. So what we wrote was the given grammar is SLR grammar. Okay. So thank you guys for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe. Also comment down below if you are having any doubts, or if you want me to make video on a particular program or topic, and if you want to access complete video series on a particular programming language, or for the compiler constructions, data analytics, or for the problems in the operating systems. And if you practice those with me, you can become a pro for sure. So see you all in the next video. Till then, study more, worry less, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.